Is just in respect of Mr. Perumal, that audio is fine. We think you'll be able to hear it without the headsets. There may be another recording that we play. It will depend on how the evidence goes. And for that one, you may need headsets because it's a conversation where one person is very audible and the other person is not, Chair.
Do we have the headsets for
We don't need the headsets now, Chair.
No.
Oh, should we?
When we get to that point. Are there any in front of you, Mr. Ramatsakis? None.
None yet.
If we do play the recording, Chair, we'll make arrangements, yes.
No, it's fine.
I'm going to give you this now because I've informed the ID, right? We all decided on the matter.
Yeah.
So there was a gentleman that was flown in secretly over the weekend from the minister's office to bring a document to me. I didn't know what the document was going to be.
Okay.
I received the document, I've informed the ID, and I'm just going to read just because of this, because what can we agree that Brian and I stopped working on all the pointers for you on the Lushaba housebreaking and concentrate more on the Mokwele issue.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to read now. So what it is that I received, it is the report which the ID asked me to keep.
Can you please pause?
Do you want to try
improve the sound?
Can you try the earphones, Chair?
In the meantime, on this one, we can follow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe the next one, that's when we can. But this one we can follow.
Can we please start from?
No, it's fine.
I'm going to give you this now because I've informed the ID, right? We all decided on the matter.
Yeah.
So there was a gentleman that was flown in secretly over the weekend from the minister's office to bring a document to me. I didn't know what the document was going to be.
Okay.
I received the document, I've informed the ID, and I'm just going to read just because of this, because what can we agree that Brian and I stopped working on all the pointers for you on the Lushaba housebreaking and concentrate more on the Mokwele issue.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to read now. So what it is that I received, it is the report which the ID asked me to keep just with me for now until I meet with her, but I'm going to let you in on what they say about Mokwele's appointment. So the report comprises of various parts of our criminal investigations here, the buying of the buildings, Kumalo's appointment, Mokwele's appointment, and others. So I'm just going to quickly read to you what they say about her appointment, the Inspector General of Intelligence. Because I think what the ID needs to do, Advocate Peter, is to find a way, because there's good synergy between the Inspector General of Intelligence and the ID now, for them to be convinced to get somebody from the IGI to give an affidavit in support of this endeavor, So they say the following, they say investigation methodology. Several documents relating to this appointment were produced for the purposes of analyzing the process of recruitment followed by the management of CI.
Thank you, Chair. Then it goes into the detail of the report, which we're not going to deal with, but the clarification from Ms. Ramsamy is that Mr. Perumal says that the report was flown in from the office of the minister, and her evidence was that it was the minister. So she wanted to clarify that Mr. Perumal in that audio says the office of the minister, whereas her evidence had said the minister himself. So that's the clarification on that. And the reason why we played it a bit further is so that you could hear that him identifying it as the IGI report, and that it is into the investigation, crime intelligence investigations, and the appointments of General Kumalo and Madondo, etc. So that's the recording on that. And then I would like to ask Ms. Ramsamy one or two questions from that recording. Ms. Ramsamy, Mr.
Oh,
Perumal...
so just a minute. Is Ms. Ramsamy going to identify the
That's
voices
what I was
for
going
us?
to ask her,
All right,
yes.
thank you.
To identify the voice of the gentleman that is speaking about the report being flown by the Minister's office to Eastern Cape.
Oh, perhaps let me say this. There's the louder voice and then there's a softer voice.
The louder voice is Advocate Surunya, and the softer voice that is speaking about the IGI report is Mr. Perumal.
And the setting was that it was the 1 September 2025 meeting that was called by the ID, Advocate Johnson, to, as you say, convince Mr. Serunye about the merits of the Operation Diversion matters after his email that he had sent in August, or one of 3 emails that he had sent, where he questioned the merits of the cases.
Correct. That is
Okay,
correct.
and it is during the course of that meeting that Mr. Perumal then brings up this issue about having been given this report.
Yes, it
Okay,
is.
and ways in which they were going to attempt to get the report into part of your investigation in a lawful way, to do an affidavit from the IG's office.
Correct. That is.
And then he says something about the ID and the IGI's office now have a good relationship, or something to that effect, on good terms now. Do you know why he was referring to as on good terms now? And this would have been September 2025.
My understanding of that statement was that Advocate J. Govender had retired from the IGI office. And Advocate Govender is a stickler to the rules. She does not bypass the rules, neither does she hold back on her words. So my understanding from that is that because the person that was providing the legal advice to the IGI to not break procedure and what is legislated had gone on early retirement.
And now they had a better relationship, so now you could get the report, when previously, when I think you had even reported to the ID that you had a fruitless meeting with the IGI with Govender in
Correct.
January.
Yes, correct.
So now, with Govender being gone, there would now be a better relationship between the ID and the IGI. Okay. And then if I understand it, Mr. Perumal, it was a Teams meeting and Mr. Perumal was in the Eastern Cape at the time.
Correct. Mr. Perumal was in the Eastern Cape and Mr. Padiachi had logged on from KwaZulu-Natal. It was myself, Advocate Shlatswayo and Advocate Surunya that was sitting in the boardroom. We were using my laptop.
And initially the Advocate Johnson was also in the meeting.
Advocate Johnson called for the meeting. She had spoken extensively, as I had testified, about how Advocate Surunya needs to understand what these cases are, and that Mr. Perumal and Mr. Padiachi were going to explain it to the prosecutors, and that she had said that it is state capture. This investigation falls under the mandate because it is state capture.
Okay. Then can we, unless there's any questions flowing from that, we can go back to your statement. Page 18 of your supplementary statement.
Paragraph 38.
I think let's start from 37. From the file was encrypted. That was the IGI report, which was being used as a basis for the Section 28(1) authorization. So you can start from there after Advocate Johnson gave me the password.
It's not the IGI report that we refer to here. It's
No, the preliminary report, my
yeah.
apologies, yes.
The file name of the report had a date of 30 January 2025, but I do not know when it was given to IDAC by General Matlo. The file was encrypted and Advocate Shabalala could not remember the password. I responded to Advocate Johnson that I could not access the report because of the encryption. Thereafter, Advocate Johnson gave me the password. It is clear from the email that Advocate Johnson wanted to authorize the report by Friday, 16 May 2025. I did not understand the urgency. If there was a preliminary audit report dealing with the matter, I did not understand why Advocate Johnson needed to urgently authorize the investigation and even bypass the Section 2813 process. I can only speculate that General Matlow must have informed Advocate Johnson that General Masemola had intended to cancel the Medicare 24 contract and that he would do so soon, which may undermine any allegations that he failed to act. But this is only speculation.
And you say that now, but that wasn't what you suspected at the time. You didn't know that that was or you didn't have that suspicion at the time.
No, it's only after hearing all the evidence.
Okay.
From where you started reading, you say to authorize the report by Friday. I take it you mean the investigation. Where you started?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner.
And if we can just go to that email again, in fact, Advocate Johnson wanted it finalized by the Thursday, so file 10285. File 10285. And it's the email at the bottom of the page. Okay. What I want to highlight is, again, the date of the email authorized by Thursday. And just above that, in fact, the sentence just above that, I need you to look at it urgently and then submit. General Matlow contacted me and I want to authorize by Thursday. Now, we have heard evidence at the Commission that the Medicare 24 contract was in fact cancelled on the 13th of May 2025. You were not aware of that at the time?
No, I was not.
Okay. And so you wouldn't have been aware that that could have been a motivating factor for the urgency in trying to authorize the 28-1?
No, I would not have known because even the subject says SAPS Tembisa Hospital tender.
And at that stage, Medicare 24 wasn't yet, no, well, it would have appeared on your 28-1, but when she sends this email to you at the time, you haven't seen any documents yet.
No, I have not. So I was not aware that it was in fact the 360.
Okay, then we can go back to your statement, paragraph 38.
I inquired as to how the allegations in the draft Section 28.1 came about, and where did Advocate Shabalala find the suspects, etc. Advocate Johnson indicated that I should speak to Mr. Perumal. When I asked Mr. Perumal, he indicated that he did not know where Advocate Shabalala got the details. Be that as it may, I perused the draft 28.1 application, which was quite detailed. I did not make any changes to the documents and sent to Advocate Johnson. She authorized the Section 28 investigation on the 16th of May 2025. Prior to 16 May 2025, there was no authorized investigation by IDAC into the Medicare 24. Yet Mr. Perumal, Beluchin, and Padiachi were already investigating the matter. If I may just add here.
That at paragraph 38?
Yes. When I say I didn't make any changes, I didn't make any changes to the averments that Advocate Shabalala had made or the list of the suspects. I did, however, follow instructions of Advocate Johnson and amend the designated persons to remove 3 advocates and add Mr. Manila, Advocate Manilal, Advocate Shlaswayo, and myself.
And do you record who those advocates were? Would Advocate Shabalala have been one of them?
It was Advocate Shabalala, it was Advocate Rashakala, and Advocate Paul Lowe.
Okay, and that was on Advocate Johnson's instruction?
Yes, it is in the first email.
Okay.
So Advocate Johnson had formally announced that she was changing the team. She did not just ask you to effect the change. She announced formally, and you then...
Chair, it's in the email where Advocate Johnson says,
Okay.
remove Paul, Tilas, etc.
Okay.
Yes, that is in that same email, 285. Kindly remove Tillis, Paul, etc. from the designations, add Santos as the advocate, as he will oversee when I am unable to attend to things. So when she says I'm unable to attend to things, it was the intention that Advocate Johnson would be in charge as the prosecutor.
Correct, she would be the supervisor of the matter.
When did it become a Medicare 24? Because on this email, it's still being referred to as Subs Tembisa Hospital.
Correct.
When did it formally become a Medicare 24 investigation?
So the formalization of the name itself only took place on the meeting of the 27th of May.
But that wasn't the name Medicare, that was an operation something else, which you'll get to.
Yes, it was called a different operation, like diversion was.
Okay. But you don't know when it became Medicare 24 itself, because you were referring to it as an operation internally.
Correct.
Okay. And prior to the authorization, it was the SAPS tender, Tembisa contract, and then when she officially, Advocate Johnson officially named it, that is the name that you continued using.
Correct, yes.
Okay. 28.1, you're dealing with investigations that were undertaken prior to the authorization.
Mr. Perumal received the 30 January 2025 preliminary report from General Matlow before the Section 28.1 authorization. Advocate Johnson was communicating with General Matlow about the matter before the the Section 28.1 was authorized, but more importantly, before there was a Section 27 referral affidavit. It may be that Section 28 entitles Advocate Johnson to conduct the investigation with or without a Section 27 referral. But Advocate Johnson testified before the ad hoc committee that the investigation emanated from a Section 27 referral affidavit with supporting documents, which was referred to IDAC on the 16th of February 2025. I have not seen such a referral, and as far as I am aware, Advocate Johnson has not produced that referral before the ad hoc and this commission. The investigation must still be authorized, even if it does not emanate from a Section 27 referral. The investigation was only authorized, if one can even call it that, on the 16th of May 2025.
Continue.
The Section 27 referral affidavit relied on by Advocate Johnson during her evidence before the commission is an affidavit by General Matlow commissioned in June 2025, after the Section 28.1 authorization.
And that is the document that we looked at the last time on page 2985 of the bundle.
Correct.
We won't go there again. Continue.
Thank you. As stated above, I have seen the affidavit of Lieutenant Colonel Khumalo regarding Mr. Perumal's request for the data on Mr. Matlala's devices on the 30th of May 2025. I can confirm that around that time of the irregular Section 28.1 authorization, May 2025, there was a lot of hubbub about the need to get Mr. Matlala's devices as soon as possible. Initially, Mr. Perumal, Belochin, and Advocate Johnson wanted to collect the devices from the PKTT, and I indicated that you cannot go and collect someone else's exhibits. You have to go and serve a subpoena on Mr. Matlala and subpoena on the current possessor, being the PKTT, or whichever SAPS unit had the devices, and then go with a service provider or a person who is in the IT, is an IT expert that is accepted in terms of the Cybercrimes Act, and mirror image those devices. This seems to be what was then ultimately done on the 30th of May 2025. I am still unclear as to what Section 28(1) was used to gain access to the devices because there is now a backdated 30 May 2025 authorization in respect of the Mokwela matter and an irregular authorization in respect of the Medicare matter dated 16 May 2025. At this stage, I was exasperated and fed up with the whole situation. It was just shortly after this that I engaged the DPCI in late June 2025. There was once again no supervision on this matter at DDPP level. Everything was going through Advocate Johnson in consultation with Mr. Perumal. Even though there was a DPP Advocate Manilal who had been briefed, he had no knowledge of what was happening, and the project was still being run out of Advocate Johnson's office.
And then before you go to the next paragraph, if I could take you to file 10, page 328, because you don't deal with this in your statement. You skip to 2 June, so I would like you to just address in sequence where now this email, WhatsApp exchanges between you and Advocate Johnson on the 20th of May 2025 after the authorization, and it's an email that you sent to Advocate Johnson. If you can just read it and then you can read her response, I'll tell you where you can find that.
328.
Yes. Of file 10.
Please remind her that she has the screen available to her.
Sorry. Thank you.
If you're struggling with the files, remember it's flighted also.
Thank you, Commissioner. Morning, Advocate Johnson. Trust you are well. I need your leadership, prosecutors' guidance, and instructions on legal and evidential aspects. On project diversion and the link of a 28 on diversion, I asked that they not finalize the affidavit as it contradicts Mr. FK's affidavit. But this person that was a 28 interview is a listed suspect on the new matter with a strong criminal link to the offenses. Mr. Bellichin has asked PM, project manager, on the new matter to arrange a briefing with the general on Monday 26th with DD and 2 PPs. I need clarity on your instructions on how we proceed with the project. I am almost done with the report for you on evidence, just adding most recent affidavits, and I will have a draft charge sheet for HB.
That's
matter,
housebreaking.
Correct. Matter ready by Friday. I'm waiting for the last affidavit so that we can have sufficient evidence of corruption.
If you can then go to, so please advise if I may ask N02 and then go to 327, the top of 327.
Please ask, if I may, please advise if I may ask, to schedule a 30-minute meeting when you are available this week. Thank you. Advocate Johnson replies, sorry, which general must be briefed and which DD and PPs? At present, I am the supervisor on the matter, and as such, all decisions must be run by me. Why I asked you. He asked Tsepo to make arrangements with Santos, Joy, and myself, and he made arrangements with General Matlow to brief us. My understanding was that it must go through you, and only when you're not available to Santos. She replies, you are correct. I haven't briefed Santos yet, so they must run everything past me. I reply, noted, thank you. I will advise PM to hold on everything, and he must inform Belochin. She replies, thanks.
Now, the briefing with General Matlow, what was the purpose of that? Was it explained to you?
Briefly by Mr. Belichin, where he indicated General Matlo was going to brief us on the reports, and they were going to brief her on where they are with regards to the investigation.
And they were intending to have that sometime on the 26th of May, around about there.
Correct, and the authorization was only on the 16th of May. That is why, or how I knew that investigations had started already.
And at this stage, there's still no Section 27 affidavit
Correct.
that you've seen?
That I've seen.
Okay. And when was General Matlows going to come to your offices? What was the arrangement going to be, and who was arranging this? Was it Mr. Belichin?
Mr. Belichin was arranging everything, and the boardroom, we were previously, we're now at CSIR, but previously we were at the Linton House, the old SARS building. So the SARS boardroom was booked.
Okay, so then it seems that there's a meeting that's held on the 27th of May, but I don't think that's the one with General Matlow. If we go to page 51 of file 11, which is your written notes.
Sorry, what page again?
Page 51 of file 11. We had dealt briefly with this. I just want to deal with it in sequence.
Correct.
There's a reference there. So this meeting, it says Brian, Dylan, Tsepo, Pat, Charles, ID, and you, of course. And there's a reference to Tembisa. Would that be now what we know as the Medicare 24?
Correct. It was at this point that it was started, the name of Project Wellness was given.
Okay, we'll get to that one. If you go to the next page, here there's a discussion about search at the house, J51, all on one day. What was that about?
Advocate Johnson indicated that the name or the designation needs to be changed to include the name of the service provider that would be present for the seizure of the cell phones, and that the search must all happen on the same day. So they must search Mr. Matlala's house and obtain the devices on the same day.
And then on the next page, the top entries.
Advocate Johnson asked questions with regards to General Matlow's report. The questions were, has the minister received the report? What usually happens after a report like this? Requests are complete. And forensic investigation, who, how, when will it be finalized?
Why was she asking these questions? What was
Because
the
I
point?
had raised it.
Okay, you had raised the questions about General Matlow's report.
Correct. My question with regards to that was, how are we investigating based on a preliminary? And then there's still a finalized report that needs to follow that might or most probably affect the investigation as it stood or continuing.
Okay, because at that stage you just had the report that stated, at that stage did you still only have the the report that saved as 30 January 2025?
Correct.
Okay, you didn't have the April report yet?
No.
Okay. And then on the next page, page 54, there's a reference to General Matlow again. What was that?
Advocate Johnson had indicated that she wanted to be present with, in the meeting with General Matlow. It was supposed to take place at Fire and Ice at 10 o'clock. It did not, that meeting did take place, but General Matlow did not join.
So that would have been still on the 27th?
It would have been between the 27th and the 28th.
Okay. And then the next page, there's also a reference, third line, ask General Matlow.
With regards to this, it was, Because NASCOM had commissioned this internal audit, my understanding was that NASCOM had given General Matlow access to all the bid documents and files with regards to the tender. And so it was a question to ask Matlow to release that information to IDAC, those files.
And then the next entry refers to Cat and Cartwright. What is that?
MJ.